But yes, we're going into Haven. This will be game 2. We're going to be seeing, I believe SinCere's going to be on, yes, SinCere's going to be on defense first. We're going to have Project X attacking first. Be very interesting. That was a very, very quick agent selection. They know which agents they like to play on this map, and they are ready to go.
Honestly, I'm trying to see the difference between these two, because at least for the side of SinCere, that's exactly the same as what we saw into the last game. So
Yes, and in terms of Project X, I believe that they're bringing in a Cypher rather than the Killjoy. With how big this map is, that's not a bad choice because Cypher doesn't have to be close to his utility for it to gain the information for your team. So it'll be interesting to see. We do still have the Killjoy on the SinCere side. So, you know, the 2 Sentinels will get to see how each of them play on attack and defense, and you can make your own decision about whether or not Cypher's better or Killjoy's better for this map.
Cypher's better. For this map.
You're already decided.
Yeah. Every day of the week, Cypher's better. Totally not biased Cypher main. But in other news, this is a really heavy stack towards A. 3 players there, but not quite the right read, as it is pretty heavy C split up from the attack rush. She's just going to want to play retake, and the rest of her team will start to work their way in. Shobo picks up rush from that frenzy, so advantaged into this post plant. But look at the flank coming through.
Yeah, Chopo's ready. She's out there trying to make sure that they know from which direction all of the defense is coming from.
Good positioning now, and it'll be kind of a matter of time. That clock's starting to tick away, but the flank already here. Omen is holding in close. That's Rise. She has a great crossfire with Naomi, and she'll find 2 double dinks with that classic pistol. Now a 5-on-2, practically no time remaining. They're locked out by the dark cover. And as Lele finds 1, there's just no time left. Zoe, she's just going to try and, well, maybe find an exit, but nothing quite to come, and she's about to come up on a unpleasant surprise of Benita. 1 HP.
Yeah, that was a really great attack from Project X. Really good way to start off this second game. I'm sure they're going to be happy with that. Probably going to take this second round here. Again, we're seeing, you know, 2 different kind of strategies here. Last time we had Project X on defense first, and we saw in the second round that they did buy up. They tried to get some rifles to maybe take that second round. SinCere here, they have a completely different strategy. They're not buying anything. They're sticking with those normal classics, saving the money, really banking on going into that round 3 with their rifles.
Yeah, this will be quick in towards B, and initial pick goes the way of Rise. Rushy is in a pickle here, rocking a hard place, and Naomi will clamp down. Just the classics left alive here. And I like what we've seen thus far from Project X on their attack. They're just being really explosive. Just kind of taking sites, not a whole ton of care in the world, and it's working out well. Probably going to bolster their confidence a little bit and keep them going here.
Yeah, definitely. They are being very aggressive on this map. Very decisive. You can tell that they have their plans, they have their plays, and they are ready to execute them. Might be putting SinCere a little bit on the back foot here with the amount of aggression, because we didn't see this on Ascent. On Ascent, they were a little bit more thoughtful. We saw them take some more time, you know, lots of rotations from both teams coming out when they were attacking. So this is a little bit unusual to have them just be like, yeah, we're just going to run on sites, get that plant down, kill everybody who comes near us.
Yeah,
and
I'm
they
also
keep
happy.
swapping it. Now they're going over to A. They went C, now B, and now A.
Yeah, just testing waters. I'm happy to see that Naomi is off to a good start. She's one of those players that, while she is playing a bit more supportive role, you want to see her really hitting her shots. Natty, nice little fadeaway onto Leisha. Lele, another as well. Chobo, an entry with that Spectre, so also a gun that they could try and recover down in hell. Benina is going to initiate the plant, and nothing to stop it quite yet. So this will be a retake. Emily up in the heaven position. They're ready for that retake dart that's going to come from where they don't expect. 1 player zoned out on here through the dark cover. The Cypher looking for a chance. Trades come through, so it's a 2v1. Chobo stuck down in hell. Zoe on the double peak finds the first for SinCere.
Yeah, good round for them. Not unexpected. As we were talking about the econ earlier, they did buy their rifles. They're going up against the bonus round that Project X was running with their SMGs. And Project X did do quite a bit of damage. Like, as we were talking about before, was that, you know, when you do those bonus rounds, your goal is not necessarily, obviously you want to win the round, but the goal is not necessarily to win the round. It's to do as much damage to your opponent's economy as you can.
Yeah.
And as we can see here, they killed 3 of the defenders. Those 3 defenders can't buy rifles this round.
Yeah.
Without spending a lot of money or having their teammates buy for them, which is what we're seeing happening right now. But it's definitely doing weird things to their economy. If they lose this round, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and this is more what we'd expect to see from Project X. Slow, defaulty, kind of taking their time to get the information they want to make the proper mid-round call. Look at this setup from Killjoy. Very passive alarm bot. And they're practically completely conceding site here. Information will be given away, so they know that the A site is compromised, but you know, they seem pretty nervous to want to push in here. Rightfully so is Natty. He's pushed up into window, taken out, but so is he. Through that smoke, finds Chobo. They also could hear that spike, so they know the spike is going to make its way towards A, and that's going to prompt these defensive rotations. Oh, Benita pushes up the alarm bot a little too late to get the information to save Emily. Hunter's Fury for this post plant. And they can play passive with this man advantage.
Yeah, I mean, with that ultimate up, they really can. They don't have to be on site. You know, we can see, who is it? Benita go off site if she wants to just wait for the ult.
Utility already keeping them at least a bit at bay. Paranoia up and ready, and Leisha pick up 2. Benita find the last, and another really good round from Project XY. Or I'm sorry, Project X. We won't do that again. Project X. The Y has been removed for this tournament.
Yes. As we were saying, they can't buy this round. It's going to be rough. You were talking about how Killjoy was setting up her stuff. Lily was setting up her stuff on A site. Just a little bit too defensively there. The turret was placed where it couldn't see A short. That allowed, you know, Leisha to come on site without being spotted. She cleared the site completely before destroying the turret. And then that alarm bot just wasn't in the right spot.
Yeah, normally we'd see them playing that retake towards maybe your C or your B. Not normally here, and this weapon advantage really strong at the moment. Lily in back sight. Jumping classic from Benita.
I'm a little bit surprised that they used the run it back in that situation, just because, like, you know, Project X is ahead by a couple of rounds. You can see your opponent's economy. They had to know that they were going to be on a save round there. So it feels a little bit like a wasted ult. Maybe not. Maybe they had some plans that I don't know about going into that. But they now have to wait for Leisha to get that back in order to use it again. And we are seeing an op come out here into double doors. That's going to be an interesting and kind of an aggressive push here.
Oh, she's up close, not able to find that. So Emily is forced to fall away. This is really heavy mid control. And look at where this Cypher is of Rush. She has kind of started to make strides towards C long, but in the meantime, B site completely open. Natty really quick up. She'll be able to hear that Omen TP as Rise dips away behind headshot box. So no one actually playing on site, but if we look at their ults, you can probably tell why. That Hunter's Fury available, and that will be the Killjoy lockdown. Destroyed, taken out of the picture, a tag onto 2 as well, but Zozie and Rush pick up frags of their own. They run it back from Natty to clear out a good bit of space. They're starting to sit on this spike, but one actually just got right past her. Lele holding down. They can't quite stop her right now, and they'll pull it through. Natty for 2. That's a second.
Yeah, Really nice retake from them. Good use of the ults there. As you mentioned, the Phoenix Natty just barely missing. I believe it was Rise who was sitting over in the smoke.
Mhm.
But it turned out that it wasn't that big of a deal. You know, they were able to still defuse the spike. Lily just sat on it. The shots through the smoke didn't quite connect with her, so she was able to get the defuse. Still seeing that operator come out from Emily. I think she had a rebuy because she's down to 0 now. But really nice from them. They can definitely bring it back. It's not like anybody's really dominating quite yet on this map.
No.
And everybody's just taking their time, making sure that they can figure out the most information possible before going
I'm
to.
intrigued by this killjoy setup. I think both of her swarm grenades are in hell with the alarm bot. They're again completely giving up sight. And they don't. I mean, they have the hunter's fury to work back in with, but it didn't work too well for them last time they were playing retake over here.
No, their plays on A are definitely interesting and one to watch. We do have Rush coming in through that bit of a flank here, trying to find
Ooh.
where they might be sitting.
She'll be able to hear if Omen goes for this from the shadow. She'll also just hear the footstep. So that's a calm for a rotation. They were trying to fake out A, but now this is completely given away. Rush, she's going to be able to hold, push back. She finds one, so does the op of Emily. And before the push could even start, the rotation's already there, already ready.
Look at Benita.
Yeah,
How did she get back there?
She was on A site. She pushed all the way through A site up here, but Emily, well, her death will give that information. Over, shock dart in, 10 seconds left. She should just hold on to this gun. Nothing
10 seconds left.
she can really do here besides maybe try and get another kill. Try her luck. Try as she might. It's Rush on that closer.
Yeah, that was, if they had been able to get people onto C site and like start a fight there, that would have been a really nice flank from Benita, because they had no idea that she was back there. As you said, like she was on A site making noise over there. They had no reason to suspect that she would have come through their own spawn to get over there. Just unfortunate she was a little bit slow. She got there, it was basically a 1v5 and not much she could do.
Yeah, I love that cage there that a lot of Cyphers do. Another reason why I think Cypher's so good on this map, because it allows a free cross, and you can even just throw it as like a conditioning smoke, just to kind of always deny that long A angle. How Chopo is up on a really good spot here. She'll hear them. And Phoenix not ready. Natty was not prepared for this positioning from Chobo. She will be traded out though by Zoasi.
Yeah. As you were saying before though, like it really seems like SinCere kind of gives up the sites. They don't sit on too many of the sites. They kind of sit in those little like connecting areas in order to respond to whatever Project X decides to do. And it hasn't really worked out for them in the past, but we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, like you said, it's very reactive, which I think is strange. Haven is often a map where you see people pushing for information, trying to get that advantage, but I mean, maybe it's working because this retake has the numbers and has the frags. That is a mop-up, a complete set piece. No response even coming out of Project X.
Yeah. And they made me eat my words. That worked out really well for them, even though they weren't on the site, kind of allowed Project X to take that. They must have just needed a couple rounds to warm up for their retakes, because that was very well done.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
As is saying, well done. It is. I'm still curious about these Killjoy setups on A though, because we really do see Lily putting her stuff in very odd spots. This one's going to be very aggressive. It looks like she's going to try to get that alarm down A long. Hopefully doesn't get spotted out from the rest of Project X as they push in.
Yeah, Bladestorm from Chobo. They're actually taking this really quickly. Actually over the dark cover. She's circumvented too. But Lily, she is aware of it. And now should just be shut down. Little crunch. Benita, how is she always on these flanks? I feel like every round she finds something, but because of that, Emily is least has the inclination that it's a possibility. Benita wants to grab the op. Arms weren't quite long enough for a moment there. She doesn't have the spike. I wouldn't hate to see her just hold on to this.
Oh, but the spike, it's right there. She can see it.
Ooh, not looking. Phoenix will cross over. She clears out graffiti. She's stomping here. Might not expect this position. Gets it. The quick scope. She can't phase up quite fast enough. Blinded out.
Yeah, I mean, based on their economy, she maybe would have wanted to keep that op, but honestly, I think they could technically still buy this round. I don't know if they're going to or if they're going to save to try to even it out a little bit. That was really nice, though, from the defense, getting that spike down, setting up those crossfires. They have to know now, though, that they always have to watch their backs. Benita, that's the second time Benita's come through on the flank where they weren't quite expecting her to be there yet.
Yeah, but I feel like it never really comes to anything.
No, it doesn't, but they do have to still be aware of it. It's just
True.
one more place that they have to look at.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Absolutely. What's with Zoe and the judge? I feel like she somehow is always finding multis with the judge. And Natty in for one as well. So this is looking good off the rip. Rise up. We'll take garage control. But Zoe, she has the spike. And she has support from Emily.
Yeah, I mean, this is the crossfire that we were talking about. They're prepared for anybody to try to come back and take this spike.
Outside the dark cover. Flash. Ready. Through the smoke. Turned away. The judge. Good for one. Naomi and Rise.
I have retrieved
Actually
the
find
spike.
picks as well. So this is now a C site that is quite open. Neural theft. Courtesy of Naomi. Will show the remaining players. Hunter's Fury is in the picture, but it will not be used initially. Recon Dart shows Naomi's position. She has the op here. She can try and peek in. Lele instead finds it. It's left to Rise now. Paranoia available, but she's too far away to even use it on the spike diffuser. She just has a dry peek to try and take the fight. She'll lose it.
Gun here.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We've seen
Oh no, you don't deserve my
a couple of times in these last few rounds, it just seems like Project X has gotten a little bit sloppy. They were playing so well together early on in this half where they moved together well. You could see the communications coming through. But the last couple of rounds, they've lost the spike multiple times in very strange places, had some trouble getting them back.
Placing swarm grenade.
So they need to, kind of reset, get their stuff back together in order to, start taking a couple more rounds here.
Cover going
4 to 6, not a bad,
Shadows
score line. They would probably prefer, obviously, to make it even with a 6 to 6, or at least get one more round before switching over to defense.
Gonna be preferable. SinCere, though, their attacks have been so strong. Run it backs traded. 5v5 retake here. Hunter's Fury up. But Chobo's in the smoke right next to Rush. She'll actually be found out. Has she used her tailwind to get out of that situation? Killjoy lockdown from Lily will be used. This will start to force the defenders away. Trade Jet for Jet. Laisha, nice little 360 at the peak. Not gonna quite work out. 3K for Emily. And Rise pinged out, stuck in long. She's actually still alive. Finds one, but the dark cover will keep her off. Both are so low. One bullet will do it. She finds two, but holding down on the spike. She's just sticking this, and she'll get it through. Good attempt, but not enough.
Now that was a really nice Killjoy ult coming out. Definitely put a timer on the attackers who were all sitting on site there. They didn't have anybody long initially. So they didn't have that kind of fallback point where somebody would watch their backs as they fell back. They had to either take the fight to the defense, try to get rid of that Killjoy ult, or, as we saw, get a little bit stuck there because the way that they were situated, every angle that they needed to use to get out of that site, the defenders had covered. Made it very difficult for them to get out.
From the shadows from Rise into Hell here. Nita will put that plant down. Again, Hunter's Fury available, and this is another 5 versus 5. Post plant up over the side with the Blade Storm. Aisha will dink Jet through the wall. Starting to work back in here. Natty clearing out Hell as Chobo picks up 2 frags. Natty, though, responding, 2 of her own. And good damage into the player up and having Leisha set up here with the blinds. That Hunter's Fury will keep them pressed away. The time ticking away ever so steadily. Bonita with that Hunter's Fury kills Rush. 2 versus 2. 1 in Hell. One just holding down long. The shock dart's good. And Zoasi finds it. There's just no time left for her. 7-5 now in the half.
Yeah, really nice help from both teams. You know, really probably feels good for Project X. They have the 5. You know, defense typically is easier, but on this map it's gonna be a little bit rough just because with the 3 sites, you do think of this map as being more attacker-sided. So they're gonna have to play carefully here. Gonna see a attack pause come out here, looking for, I think that was Zoesi who called it. Probably gonna see SinCere. They're gonna be discussing, you know, what kind of setups they want to run, their strats here, how they want to do this. Everybody likes hopping around on this site.
Yeah. I like the tack here. Now that we've kind of sorted out when they can do it, they can just kind of take a minute, talk things through, try and formulate something. Because in a 7-5 half, this pistol round is going to be very important. It's going to be the precedent setter.
It is, definitely. Oh, I didn't know there were teddy bears on this site.
I didn't either.
Shout out to our wonderful observer, Casey. Doing well. Finding all of the cute stuffed animals for us. All right, tack pause is over. We're gonna get set to go. Looks like this could be why we saw them, you know, really stock up on people on A in the first round. Was they might assume that most people like to go A in the pistol round, because that's where it looks like they're setting up to hit. Gonna be a little bit of a slow start here as they just try to kind of figure out what's the defensive setup that Project X is running. With so many sites, there's so many different setups you can do.
Bonita, she wanted some information there, but all she'll receive is a shot. Mid, they're really just holding on to this mid control, this fight here very heavily. And it looks like they might be pushing in towards B. Hot hands either way. And through that lava, there's one still holding down in the corner. Both teams, they're just exchanging this utility. Some shots back and forth, but it's the A site instead. Falls into the hands of Lele. And SinCere, Zoasi, another Leisha on the start of this retake. Picks up Lele. That's the Killjoy. Gone, one of those dangerous characters. Taken out of the picture. Rise, wary of the possibility of a flank, hears those footsteps and takes it. They're holding on to the spike here. They might just be able to kind of stick this down, keep it going, and they will. They'll just completely hold on, and while there's 2 still left alive, nothing they can do.
I've never seen a call it a team ace when there was still opponents alive.
I think it's a glitch.
I was gonna say that was a little bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, Riot, we found a bug in your game. Really nice pistol round though from the defense Project X now. Gives them that one more round, only a 1 round differential between the 2 teams.
Careful now.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of difference here. SinCere actually, a couple of their players did buy. Or wait, no, they lived. My bad. They didn't actually buy.
Yep.
They're still doing their normal strategy of not buying anything.
Yeah. Par for the course here, but this should be the 7-7 here, which
Yeah,
is
the team ace thing just like really screwed me up.
just kind of, you got to reset your brain for a second after
Yeah.
that one. I mean, that round was quite confusing. I find it interesting
Fire
how
the
so they
spike.
play things really slowly, but it's not, they don't cast their net very wide. Like, notice in both these rounds they've played slow, but they just kind of focus in on one area of the map where they're just kind of fighting, like just slowly, like a
My eyes
lo-fi
are dull.
fight to chill slash study too.
Yeah, we're not seeing them use a whole lot of utility though. It's more like they're trying to draw out the utility of their opponents, trying to get
Yeah.
that information of where they're sitting. Little bit of an odd choice just because we can still see the mini map for the attackers to not go towards A where there's
30
only one
seconds
defender. They're going to be hitting most of the opposite team here.
Late
One
Jet
enemy
and Rise, superior firepower. Kills come out, and well, that's a little bit weird. She's just kind of running around, manages to blend in with the team and find one frag. 4K for Rush, so she'll have her all. Or I'm sorry, for Rise rather, not Rush. Wrong or name, but she'll have that from the shadows available. So it could be some good information early on here.
Yeah, definitely. As we have seen in the first game, we are SinCere is pulling out the rifles. This is round 3. This is kind of par for the course for them.
Here.
I'm kind of curious to see now that they have the rifles in their hand if they're going to play it any more aggressively or if we're going to see still that kind of like wait and poke and just see where the information is.
This is pretty aggressive, but not from the side you were expecting. They're just running things up. Rush caught off guard by overwhelming force.
And they
Again,
have
this is
Spike
down.
now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, Spike was down there. They found
this
it.
paranoia. She has a paranoia ready to try and set up here. Lily can play off that
player
on the work back
standing.
in, but no, she's taken out by Naomi. So Lily is left in this clutch here.
I got
She
the
will
spike.
be able to get the spike. Kind of weasel her way out here, but Chobo in window, ready for it. And for the first time in a while, it will be Project X taking the lead.
Yeah. That's got to be great for them. If they can take this game, they're going to force it to, you know, that map 3, that icebox map. Not a map that most teams want to play on. I feel like it's most of the time that is the like first ban that we see come out. As casters, I would love to go to icebox because we don't get to see it a whole lot, but we'll have to
Keep it
see.
cool. That's how you survive.
We're going to see a little bit of an opposite from the first game, though, where it seems like SinCere's going to be fighting a couple of rounds here, trying to get their economy to stabilize. Back down to Sheriffs. We'll see if Rush can get some of her classic headshots with that gun.
Yeah, I feel like Rush is kind of, she had a really great start to that game, but I feel like she's quieted out a little bit more in the second one. Seeing her kind of get back into that form would be awesome. Emily, though, she's in good form. Finds that also gives her the Blade Storm to work with here, so they have advantage. And this A-site retake with all these close lines can be tough, even with the worst of buys. Spike will start to tick away. Hunter's Fury also available. Leisha on the run it back, going in so fast. The blind is good. Lily finds Chobo. Emily still hasn't had to use that Blade Storm.
Yeah, we're seeing Rush has her ult up. Here it goes.
Yeah, she's using this early, but she'll actually find a connection. They can just hold this down unless the shocks come quick enough. Coming inbound, and it will hit. Gets her off the bomb. That's the first. Other shock also lands. Rise can hold this. 3 seconds. Has to be coming up around, and Rush clutches it out. 8-8 as they find that thrifty.
Yeah. What a great clutch from her. You knew going into that, you know, she had her ult up. We knew it was probably going to come out. She was sitting back in a little bit of a weird corner along A long. At first, I thought she was waiting for, you know, trying to make sure that Benita didn't come in and flank them, that she did when Project X was attacking. But then I remembered it's Rush on Team SinCere. She probably has lineups for shock darts.
Every day.
Scanning ahead.
Nice start.
Very nice. Pushes them. You had said that, in the first half, pushes them off that a long kind of like peak there.
I'm pretty sure it was blocked. I don't think it worked. It was like stuck in a corner. It didn't actually reveal her. In a spot it probably should have, but good trade through in the middle of the map. And Natty finds another. This is a lot quicker of a pace for SinCere. They'll have the spike down rather quickly here.
Planted.
Killjoy lockdown available in the post plant as well. That run it back. Emily finding Leisha. There's 2 left alive here. And their economy is really bad. They might even try and save this here, try and get something more. Oh no. Benita saw the gun barrel, but Emily, completely aware of her situation, will find that frag. Naomi now, 1 versus 4 in the backside. Killjoy turret reveals her position, and a swing from Natty.
Yeah, that was a really nice, site take and post plant defense from Team SinCere. Puts them up by 1 round. Both teams have to keep fighting, keep pushing here. Can't let it go even a little bit, or their opponents are going to start running away with it. But that was a lot faster than what we had seen from them earlier on this map. They had previously been kind of poking and prodding, taking a little bit of time to consider things, and it didn't work for them all the time. I think they just decided, hey, let's swap it up. We had seen them do that on Ascent, where they swapped their tactics a lot, really threw off the defenders. Really nice to see that from them again.
Oh no. Leisha, that is rather unfortunate from her. Natty was not even looking, but not the miss that you want to see.
Oh, but look at Rise.
Might walk right in. She'll find the first, but Emily's there on the trade. 4 versus 4 now. Again, the C site for dish du jour, and Leisha completely unaware of the possibility of Emily from that position. Shock darts up. Benita's trying to just send it onto site here. And they'll just continue barreling out. Oh, that is so nice from Chobo. Great shot for 1. Dashes on out. Now it's left to her 21 HP. She cannot quite find that one. Double digits found for SinCere.
That was a really nice ult kill from Jet. A lot of Jet players don't use the tailwind that way, to get out of situations. Like, that's what she's designed for, is you get the kill, you get out very quickly. Yeah. Especially when you go to the lower elos, you don't see that a lot. You see them using tailwind to get into places rather than out.
I am everywhere.
Perfect Jet play from her. That was great. Wasn't able to finish it up. I think they were on a bit of a light buy that round. That was going to be rough.
I like the tripwire setup this time. One of those trips got killed by the spam, but initially Cypher had one kind of on that entranceway to B and one in garage. So look how passive that allows them to play towards other areas of the map, and how they can kind of ignore B and garage for the most part. So I love seeing some good Cypher setups.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing them play more on the sites than SinCere did. SinCere, we have been talking about that. They like to sit kind of in those linking areas in the hallways, not really on site. But completely different here from Project X.
And Chobo missing her chance with the op, tries to go back in. Ooh, that is a nice little spray down to cancel out the other run it back. Rise on site, good for 1 onto Emily. Spots out the second, finds that as well, but Zoacy will trade that through. So a 3v3, but health is a bit of a ways away for Zoacy. She will fall back, make the right call, and go to play with the rest of her team. But this retake is in so fast onto site here.
Yeah, that was a good neural theft. Let them know nobody's on site. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, great reveal from that recon dart. A second as well through the flame wall. Spike is half though. Benita's position compromised by Zoacy, and 11 now. They're just 2 away from closing this. And Project X, again, they're in a position where they're in the back foot, and they're going to have to start chaining rounds together to come back into it.
Yeah, that that round was very well played from SinCere's. We saw them, you know, they used that, run it back at the beginning to get some information. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, very good round from them, you know, getting onto site. They did a couple of trades, lost some people, but they were able to get the spike down and hold it enough. We saw that from Project X before, that, you know, staying on that site with all of your teammates, not having anybody long, not a great play there, especially with how they planted the spike. Benita, though, being aggressive.
Yeah, they will be revealed by that owl drone, so she has to fall back. But Naomi is still up quite far here. They're not quite peeking into it yet. Recon Bolt to reveal, and Emily finds one. Naomi on the peek out with the Sheriff. Takes Zoe. They're just trying to spam her. They don't want to let her get out alive, but she's actually going aggressive. She's double dipping for another chance. Natty, though, comes out of the utility to find that, but the aggression is unteamed for the side of Project X. They just kind of keep pushing in on this lighter buy, and now this player is completely trapped and committed to the A site. Rise up with the Spectre, and now this is really close. Rush for a second as well, and Rise is forced to fall back from this Killjoy lockdown. 19 HP for the 1v3.
Spike planted.
And that dart's gonna give away her position, let them know that she's not going up to heaven. She's actually gonna try to come in through connector.
She has to find this cleanly. She's looking up at the sky. Emily knows it. Kind of confirming there. 12-8. 1 point away from taking this the distance. 1 point away from SinCere joining Built Butter in the grand finals.
In chat, Rise definitely got baited there a little bit. I believe we saw Emily use some of her updrafts, you know, getting those sound cues to trigger, really kind of messing with her opponent there, because she didn't go up, she stayed down. As you were saying, though, it's match point. Not too much of a difference here. You know, Project X definitely could bring this back, bring it over into overtime for us. We'll have to see how they play this. I'm expecting them to be a little bit less aggressive than what we've seen before. They do push out a lot.
Oh, that's that first frag given away, though. That's also a Hunter's Fury gone. It's a disadvantage to try and keep in it. Up towards the site, Rise in the back line, blinded out, pushed away. Zoe finds the entry. A second and 3 through the smoke. I don't even know how that happened for Zoe. And suddenly, Chobo, she has to clutch a 1 versus 5. Almost an impossibility. And Zoe, she is so on point. It is a grand finals run for SinCere as they join Built Butter.